Well, good evening, and welcome back to another episode of Cozy Old School RuneScape Lore. First of all, I want to thank you for the listener feedback I got on the recent episodes about the sound of my mouse on my desk maybe not being the most pleasant. And since we're trying to create a pleasant environment here, I got a mouse pad, so I hope that takes care of that issue and makes the audio a little bit more pleasant. Today we are exploring what books we can find in the new Varlamore update. This week, the third and kind of final big update for Varlamore, the Final Dawn, released. And with it came at least one book that I'm going to go to my house and look at with you now. It's from the Veil Totems mini quest, and so I've already spent some time I did that mini quest. I spent some time doing the mini game that's associated with it, and from that I got Sacraments of the Entfolk. So I'm going to look at it. I haven't actually opened this book yet, and I'm going to look at it and see if we can find any lore inside. So the contents are my notes and Ranulf's notes. Ranulf is the person who I got this book from. My notes are my stats, basically. I've built 104 totems. I've rummaged offerings 87 times, and that's how I've earned 87 Veil research points. But it harkens back, at the beginning of my notes, it harkens back to my time with Ranulf. And it says, since observing the Ents with Ranulf, I've been conducting my own research in Auburnvale. Ranulf's notes seem a little bit more like lore, and they go as follows. I would not have expected to find myself spending such time observing Ents, yet they present a curious and repetitive ritual. From the moment I arrived in the Auburn Valley, it was clear the Ents themselves held a high position in the valley hierarchy. There is little to no separation between the local population and the Ents, with many of the latter choosing to walk through the local town itself. I think the town is called Auburnvale. Let me double check that. Yep. The valley is, like the area is Auburn Valley, and then the town is Auburnvale. Ranulf says, my first objective was to investigate any potential interfacing between the Ents and the locals. With this in mind, I began to observe the rituals being undertaken. One of the first and most noticeable elements of the ritual is the perpetual nature of it all. The Ents do not break from their paths, and there is no definition of a start or end. To become involved in the ritual, one must simply present themselves and begin to follow it. It appears the ritual itself revolves around a set of totems that represent the spirits of the forest. Initially, I assumed the totems to be a creation of the Ents, but I have now learned that it is in fact the citizens of these lands that maintain them. And me, who came to this land, I maintain them in the minigame. The Ents appear to appreciate these contributions, especially when the totems are accurate to the local spirits. This is not all, however. For a totem to be considered complete, it is apparently important for them to be decorated with cut and carved wooden objects. Apparently, this is some form of returning material to the forest in a manner the Ents respect. For those interested in a consistent involvement in the ritual, I've noted that many follow the Ents around to join them in appreciating the natural world. I believe they find it refreshing to pause and take in the sights of the forest. So a lot of this is like game mechanisms disguised as lore. So Ranulf is basically talking through some of the mechanisms in the minigame, and this last paragraph is about how if an Ent is like pausing where there's like a group of three like rocks or I can't remember what they're called, but they're like rocks or stumps with like moss and mushrooms on them. If an Ent stops there to admire them and you click admire on them at the same time, it restores I think like 20% of your run energy. On moving through the forest, it is impossible to miss that the footsteps of the Ents occasionally causes spectacular growths to emerge. My understanding is that by walking through these growths, one can feel more connected to the Ent that left it behind. I've not collected enough information to confirm, but I believe the Ents offer more reward to those connected to them. I'm sure there is more that I have not yet discovered, so I will keep working to build a stronger picture of how this ritual process works. Alright, and that is Sacraments of the Entfolk. So, I'm looking at my bookshelf, and I'm just gonna see if there's anything else in the bookshelf that looks like it is from, like, that I haven't seen before, that looks like it's from the update. I see one already. I wonder if what's on migration patterns? That's a book. Oh, I don't have that yet, so we should definitely do that. The Stalker Den is a cave located beneath this new area called Custodia Pass, which connects Corrend and Varlamore, so that the whole continent is like connected now. I actually wonder if it's technically two continents, but anyway. So I have to start the quest to be able to enter the den, and the den becomes fully accessible after the quest. But I can do the quest, but I want to see, where do I get this book? Maybe I can get it just by starting the quest. So why don't we head over there and try to find that? But first, I did see another book. What's the Tree Wizard's Journal? That looks new. No. That's in the Shade Catacombs. This was released 4 years ago. Oh, that's under Morton's. Oh, it's part of the Shades of Morton minigame. Okay. Yeah, and so you have to do that minigame to get that one. The Wardens. I'm just looking up some of the books to see, because the wiki isn't totally updated yet. And so I'm just kind of cross-checking what I see here in, like, as empty spaces in my bookcase with what might be new books released to the game this week. Okay. Okay, so the other one that I'm pretty sure is new is Auburnvale Ecological Reports. Let's see how I get that. Found in the Burrow. Where is that? Access from the center of the Hunters Guild. And this book was released this week because it's related to Auburnvale, and that area was just released this week. So I need a hunter level 46 to get in there. Okay, so let's start with that one. That one will be really quick. We'll go to the Hunters Guild. We'll find this new book that's, I think, just on a table that I can grab. Let's get a couple teleport items. And let's go to the Hunter Guild. Okay, so this is in Varlamore. It's been, I think, there since Varlamore was first released. And so I go into this massive tree, and then I climb down the stairs, and so I think it's the eastern room. There it is, Auburnvale Ecological Reports. There is a NPC in here. I don't know if they're new or not, but they're Osaga, or Saga, and they say, "Hi there, friend." I say, "Hello, you're not one of the hunters too, are you?" "Oh no, but as someone that makes small, soft versions of creatures, this is the place to be. These books and the hunter's reports contain lovely details about my subject matter. I might never leave. I'd imagine this is the place to be for materials, too. These hunters seem to find everything." The cat is a great way to stress test some of the stitching, too. He loves having something to play with. The cat's in the next room by this bar. Okay, what was this person's name? Orsaga. Yeah, they were released more than a year ago, so they're not new, but the book in this the book in this room is new, and it's Auburn Valley Ecological Reports, and so now I've unlocked that. And it reads, copied for guild records by Scribe Verity. Early numbers suggest that migration is down again this year. The composition remains stable. It's not as if one species has stopped migrating, but all of them are migrating in lower numbers than before. It may be worth considering a broader guild effort to dig into what's happening here, but for now, I'll be moving toward the pass itself. I wonder if that's Custodia Pass. As yet, I've not observed anything I consider to be out of the ordinary within the pass. I'll aim to move a little further up in the coming week if this remains fruitless. There was a break between those sections. I'll let you know when there's a section break. So now there's another one. Still nothing much of note to document, but the Custodia Pass does seem to now have a relatively high density of rabbits compared to previous reports. I need to identify if they have come from the Auburn Valley or if we've simply missed a population in our records. I shall attempt to catch a couple and clarify the situation in my next report. Having caught a couple, it is clear that these rabbits are not a part of the Auburn Valley population. The ones I have captured present with what can only be described as fangs. I've never seen anything like it. I will endeavor to learn as much as I can about these rabbits whilst I am here. Expect further reports soon. And that's the end of the book. I think it's funny how often the word whilst shows up in this game. I feel like it's kind of an archaic word. But they use it so much in the writing of this game. It's like you could just say while, but they say whilst. And I wonder if it's because they're like trying to sound kind of like old school, like medieval, but I just think it's kind of funny and maybe a bit overwrought. Okay, so we added a new entry to our bookshelf, a new book in our bookshelf, and I'm going to mark that. Okay, that's marked now on my list. I think all the new books in the list just marked for some reason. Like on the wiki, when the table got updated with new books, it just automatically marked them as on my list, so it's kind of hard to actually keep track when there's an update. Okay, so now we're going to go over to where the new quest is and see if we can start it and find that other book. The new quest is indeed in Auburnvale, and I can just ride the Quetzal there. So I'm traveling on Renu the Quetzal to Auburnvale, and then I'm going to go toward the quest icon and start the, I think it's called Shadows of Custodia quest. Who do I talk to? I'm guessing I talk to Marcus. I say, hello there. Marcus says, hello, here for a drink? You picked the right place if so. Well, that's not it. Maybe this tourist will start it for me. I say, hey there. Hello there, or should I say Nilsal? Okay. There's also Chirabaya the dog, who I'm going to pet. I say, who's a good doggy? And Chirabaya says, woof. Okay, so that didn't start the quest. I don't really want to look it up. I just kind of want to explore here a little bit first. I'm talking to the bartender. Welcome to the Auburn Pub. Are you here to buy a drink? I just say nothing for me, thanks. Well, who else can I talk to start this quest? I think you always have to talk to an NPC to start a quest. Am I in exactly the right place? Yeah, it's like you started in here. There is stairs to go upstairs, so maybe there's someone upstairs that I can talk to. There is, but that's why I gasped, but I don't know if it's gonna do it. Hi there, how's it going? It's a citizen. Sorry, but I don't want to buy anything. Okay, that's not it. Oh, and the stumps that you can examine that I mentioned before, by the way, are beautiful tree stump, beautiful log, beautiful rock. So they're just prefixed with beautiful. Okay, now I'm going to talk to the citizen right outside here. I say, how's it going? They say, sorry, I don't want to buy anything. I can't talk to the guard. But there is a child out here that I could talk to. I say, hi there, how's it going? They say, I don't know you. Okay. I'm going to talk to Lunami in a shop, a blacksmith shop. They say, you looking you looking for the axes I have for sale? I say, no, I'm fine. Well, shoot. How am I supposed to start this quest? Oh, well, the quest list will tell me. Why don't I just go there? And this quest is Shadows of Custodia. That's how you find out. Oh, you have to read the notice board in the pub. I never even saw a notice board, but there it is on the wall. So I just clicked check notice board. So there we go. I just had the hypothesis that you always have to start a quest by talking to someone, but not in this case. It says, oh, and I heard this was like kind of a horror quest in theme or tone, so here we go. The notice board is covered in missing person posters. I say, that's quite a few missing people. Looks like some of these have been here for a while. Start the Shadows of Custodia quest? Yes. I wonder if anyone around here knows more about this. Well, let's see what my quest log says. I should ask around. Okay. Well, I'll talk to Marcus again. Do you have a moment to talk? I suppose so. Do you know much about the missing people? Only what I've heard around the place. That funny guy by the sea. Keeps suggesting they're being taken in the night, which is absurd, really. Funny guy by the sea? He's always going on about strange people coming in the night, but no one would dare do that with the Ents around. It's a load of rubbish. So you don't think it's possible? It would take a lot of things happening right before my eyes for me to even consider it. Well, what do you think is happening then? I think that some of them are accidents. Others might just be leaving. No suspicion of anything else? Like what, murder? I'm not sure who would want to kill folk around here. We're a tight community. Thanks for the help, I guess. Okay, so someone down by the sea. There is a ferry, but that's a ways. Let's see what the quest log says. Yep, I should ask around. Let's see if this tourist has anything. I say, hey there. I say, hello. That's it. I'll talk to the bartender. I can say about the missing people. And they say, looking to find them, are you? That's right. What can you tell me about them? Not a lot. A couple of kids that have run into trouble on some adventure, no doubt, along with a few adults who decided to slip away in the night. Is that normal around here? Well, we're sat between two sets of mountains. Lots of places for accidents to happen. The mountains. Right. Is there anyone else who might be more invested in the missing people? Well, those posters aren't putting themselves on the notice board. You'll probably want to find whoever put them there. And you don't know who that is? Some local parents, I think, but many faces come in here. I can't keep track of them all. Now, are you going to buy a drink? I say, no thanks. Okay. As you wish. So, I have a random event that I'm not going to do. It still says I should ask around. Okay, so I should find some parents, I guess. I'm going to talk to Amila in the house to the west. Because that's the first, house that I can actually see. I say, excuse me, I'm looking into the... Turn around, walk out. Wait, Please, nobody's looking into anything. Just leave us, says Francis, who... Oh, okay, he was hiding behind the wall. Not really hiding, but was blocked behind the wall with my camera. I say, but I'm trying to find the missing people. Prove it. What do you know? Exactly. Now go. Okay. So I talk to someone who might be a parent. Okay, now it says I asked around town and found a couple who seemed distressed. They refused to tell me anything. I should keep asking around. I'll talk to the citizen just outside. How's it going? Sorry, but I don't want to buy anything. I'll talk to this kid who was involved in the Veil Totems mini-quest. Say, hello, Isadora. Hello again, funny person. Have you been helping the Ents? I say, a little bit, yes. The Ents like it when you help. They'll give you more gifts. Well, I do always like a gift. I was wondering, though, do you know why the totems are so important to the Ents? No. Oh? But Daddy says they're very important. He says the Ents need the totems. Without them, the Ents would be all sad, and then the whole valley would be all dead and sad. That's why we have to help them. Daddy lets me help them sometimes, but I'm only allowed to help them here. Mommy says it's too dangerous for me to go out into the valley on my own. She says there are monsters. I don't know if that's true. I think Ents would stop any monsters, but Mommy and Daddy get all grumpy if I don't listen. I say, and I'm sure nobody wants Mommy and Daddy to be grumpy. Too right. Like a kid says, too right. Anyway, goodbye, funny person. Don't forget to help the Ents, and I won't forget. Okay, so... let's see. There's got to be someone else I can talk to here. Talk to this citizen. I'm imagining the citizens all just don't want to be sold to. I think that's true. There's... I feel like that's pretty much it. I don't see a way to get down to the sea. There's a belladonna patch here that I haven't planted anything in. Just citizens. No, like, named NPCs. I feel like they would be named if there's someone who's going to have, like, unique dialogue. Well, I think I'm going to pause and explore. I'll talk to Sabamo. I haven't talked to them yet, so I'll talk to them, but if they don't have any dialogue, I'll probably pause for a little minute. Welcome, adventurer. Are you looking for a sublime staff? I'm afraid a little issue with some ends mean I don't have any battle staffs for sale, but other than that, I'm sure I'll have what you need. I'll say, what was the issue? Unfortunately, we had someone new handling the delivery, and they accidentally left the cart in the way of the Ents. I think the Ents must have then considered both the cart and its contents to be a gift for them. They stole them? Why would I say that? I wouldn't say stole. I just think they misunderstood why the cart had been left there. Could you not ask for them back? I'm sure the courier tried, but I suspect the Ents didn't really understand him. Anyway, would you like to buy a staff? I mean, I'll have a look. Okay, so it's just a battle staff shop. It's actually just a regular staff shop, not even a battle staff shop. Okay. Alright, I'll pause it, and I'll be back with you when I figure out what to do next. Okay. I went into a shop, and I talked to the shopkeeper, and I can say about the missing people. So I say, about the missing people. Shopkeeper. Ah, yes, it's a sad day when a town doesn't worry about its missing children. People aren't worried about it? They were at first, but with how long it's been happening, I think everyone's run out of energy to keep searching. But people have searched then? Are there any theories as to where they're going? Well, that depends on who you ask. Some try to rationalize it away as some accident in the forest, the river, or the mountains. Others just assume they up and left overnight, took only the essentials to go and start a new life. Then, of course, some think they're getting taken in the night. And what do you think? I think we could be doing more. Something is happening and it doesn't feel right. I know I'm not the only one who feels this way. Well, I'm here to have a look around. I'll see what I can find out about them. Thank you, traveler. I have to keep asking around. Wow, it just wants me to ask pretty much everyone who has a name, I think. I thought I already did, but maybe in the sawmill. Okay, let's try asking in the sawmill next, because there's a couple NPCs in there, I think. Whoops, click over there. Well, that person's name is Sawmill Operator, so I guess I'll talk to them. Nope. Okay, that's not it. Ooh, okay, so there's someone looking out over the sea. That's gotta be the person I'm supposed to talk to, because someone mentioned that someone's down by the sea. I think it was like Marcus or whoever in the bar who I talked to first. Ictus says, not often someone comes out to speak to me. What do you want? I'm investigating the missing people. Do you know anything about them? Oh, yes, indeed. They were taken by the night people. The night people? Yes, I hear them in the dark. They think they're quiet, but not to me. I can hear them scrape against the wooden walls. Could that not just be a dog scratching at a post? Does a dog walk on two legs? One of the Ents, then? An Ent wouldn't go around scraping against things. They're far too careful for that. I don't think... Oh, I see what you're doing. You're just another who wants to laugh at me. You'll all see soon. Okay, I think I'll leave you to it. That's right, be gone with you. Even that's a dead end. What? Oh. Okay, so now I've done all the asking around. Now it tells me in the quest guide, I found a couple who seem distressed. I should see what I can learn from them. So maybe by talking to everyone, including Ictus, maybe I got enough information that I can kind of have enough to kind of like ask some insightful questions of this couple that told me to get away. So I'm going to talk to Amelia. You again, we already told you to go away. But I want to help. I'm trying to find the missing people. Prove it. What do you know? There we go. Well, I know most of the town has given up on finding them. Most are just dismissing the disappearances, assuming them to have run away or had an accident. However, there are some who think something more sinister is going on. If that's the case, I intend to find out. I'm Drifter Ray, and I promise I'm here to help. You'll find our sons? I'm going to try. Well, I suppose you do at least seem to somewhat care. What do you need from us, Drifter Ray? First up, what can you tell me about the disappearance of your sons? That's the thing. They just seemed to vanish. One moment they were playing upstairs, but the next they'd gone. And you didn't notice anything unusual at all? Nothing really. The only thing that was a bit odd was the Ents. The Ents? Yes, their normal path takes them right past our house, but the night the boys disappeared, they took a different route. It's like they were avoiding something. I see. Can I look around the house a little and see if there's any clues as to where your sons went? If you think it will help, then of course. Thank you. Alright, so I'm going to climb up the ladder. Okay, I couldn't do this before, but now I can inspect the beds. There's 2 beds upstairs. Doesn't look like anything's out of place here. And the other bed doesn't look like anything's out of place here. And the rest is just examines, which I don't think will give me anything to go on. Okay, I'm going to climb back down. Ooh, I can inspect the wall. I'm going outside. That's odd. There are some scratches going up the wall with a strange sticky red substance. It's not blood. What is it? I can inspect a puddle nearby now. What do we have here? More of that strange substance. I wonder where it leads. Okay. Can I go down the path? Yep. I'm going to inspect the next puddle. And the next one. Here we go. We go. Okay, it's leading to a river coming out of a cave. And then there's a plank in the river, and I can inspect it. It looks like there's some sort of fabric caught on the plank, but it's too far away for you to reach. A fishing rod might work. Well, luckily there's a bank in this town. And I have a fishing rod in my bank. Going to the bank. I'm getting a fishing rod. I'm going back. Okay. I'm going to use the fishing rod on the plank floating in the river. Let's see what that does. You cast out your line. You use your fishing rod to hook a bit of fabric off the plank. Interesting. I should see if this is from one of our missing people. It's my cue to go back to the family, parents. Talk to Francis. Have you found anything yet? Yes, do you recognize the scrap of fabric? I followed a trail of, well, I'm not sure what it is. It led from your home to the river, and this was caught on a plank there. You show them the scrap of fabric you found. One of our sons, Etz, often wears brown, and that looks like... Does that mean... It means I have a lead. What direction was this trail going in? Up towards the mountains northwest of here. It might be dangerous, but I think I can explore further. If you're willing to, it would mean everything to us. You're the only one who's actually cared enough to find anything. It's the least I can do. I'll be back once I've discovered more. Okay, if I'm going into some mountains and maybe a cave, I'm going to bring some supplies first I will bring... I guess I'll just keep the fishing rod on me just in case I need it. I'm going to bring a melee weapon and 10 sharks. I'm going to bring a lantern in case I need a light source. And, anything else I might need? Probably, I might need an axe. This is kind of a woodcutty area. I'll bring a spade. I'll bring a rope. Hammer and a saw. 5 logs. And a knife. Okay. Hopefully that's everything I need. Going on a little adventure. Maybe even spelunking here. My prayer is full, so that's good. And I can't inspect the log anymore, but let me... I almost attacked a guard. Oh, the puddle does cross over this bridge, this dam, the bridge next to this dam with a, it's like the water spilling over it. Okay, the pools of red liquid are continuing up the path to the west here. Here I go. Okay, it goes up to the north now. Ooh, there's lynxes here. Ooh, and a stag. What I'm trying to do is get all the way to where this cave is so that I can find that book. That's really the main goal here. Be nice to help out this family too. Okay, so the speaking of caves, the path led right into a cave, and there's an injured boy. He looks a bit worse for wear. And then I can talk to the first one I can't interact with, and the next one I can talk to. Are you okay? Can you walk? I think so. I'm not sure if Etz can though. That's okay. I should be able to carry him. Now let's get out of here. I take the 2 boys back to Auburnvale. I can't believe you found them, says Amelia. I was very fortunate. They were in a cave in the mountains, but they weren't particularly far inside. Probably using the survival skills I taught them. That's my boys. How are they doing now? They're upstairs recovering. They need some rest, but they'll be okay. That's good to hear, though. I'm still worried as to how they ended up there. It's not really the kind of place someone visits, not to mention that strange substance I found. You think they were taken by something? I don't think we can rule it out. Well, they weren't the only ones to disappear. What if you're right? What if there are more people up there? And what if whatever took them comes back? First things first, I need to find out exactly what happened to your sons. Do you think I could ask them about it? Not yet. They need some rest first. In the meantime, you should go see Adriana, the guard captain. People can't ignore this now. If something did take our boys, she needs to know about it. You'll find her by the main entrance into town. I'll go and see her. Is there anything else I can be doing to help as well? The boys were upstairs when they disappeared. What if whatever took them climbed our wall and came through the window? If that's the case, we need to stop it happening again. Let's see. I suppose I could take a look at the wall and see if it can be reinforced in some way. If it's not too much trouble, that would mean a lot to us. I'm sure it won't be too much to sort. Right, I'll be back once I've spoken to Captain Adriana and sorted your wall out. Alright, so I'm going to click reinforce the wall, and it'll probably tell me what I need. I imagine some planks. 4 sets. Maple logs. Oh, I need maple logs. Okay. I took the wrong type of logs out of the bank. If I don't have maple logs in the bank, I can chop them quick here. I need 4 sets, I think it said. And I don't have any, so let's chop some quick. I'll get back with you when I'm ready to reinforce the wall. Okay, I have the maple logs, and first I'm going to talk to Captain Adriana, who I just found. Good day, I'm here about those missing people. Yes, I saw you bringing those boys back into town. Where did you find them? In a cave up in the mountains. Did you see any sign of the other missing people? I'm afraid not, but I intend to ask the boys about them once they've had some time to rest. I'm worried they didn't go up there on their own. There's a chance something might have taken them. Ah, wonderful. This is just what we need. Yes, I must admit, this town doesn't seem very well equipped to deal with this sort of thing. Is there anything I can do to help? Well, one of the people who went missing was a local Fletcher. In his absence, our already light supply of longbows has become even lighter. I'm sure I can step in as your Fletcher. New bows, was it? That's right, we typically use willow longbows. We've lost a few experienced archers over the years, So we've tried to make things more approachable and cheaper. Willow, approachable. Got it. How many did you need? 4 would keep us comfortable for the time being. Alright, I'll be back soon with your bows. Okay, I'm going to reinforce the wall, and then I think I'm going to try to go back into the cave and just see if I can get this book already. And then probably update you about the quest. If I have more to share about it later. Francis says, "You're back. How's it going?" I say, "I got your wall all sorted. Now I'm helping Captain Adriana source some new bows to equip the guards a bit better. Thank you so much for doing all of this, Ignami. It means everything to us." Okay, I'm going to run back to the cave, and I'll let you know when I'm ready to explore it and hopefully find that book. Shoot, it says I probably shouldn't go back in there without a good reason. Okay, I'm going to go back to town, get these bows sorted, and let you know if anything important happens. Okay, I'm talking to the captain again. I have those bows you asked for. You give Captain Ariadna, it's actually Ariadna, 4 willow longbows. Thank you, traveler. So you've got the bows, what now? Well, not a lot really. We'll increase the number of guards posted at the entrances into town, but without knowing what we're looking for, we can't do much else. Right, not quite the solution I was after, but it's a start. I guess I better go check in with those boys and see if I can find out more about how they ended up in that cave. Alright, I'm going to go climb up the stairs to the top floor of their house, see what they say. "You're back. How's it going?" says Francis. "I've helped Captain Ariadna source some new bows to equip the guards a bit better, and your wall is all sorted as well. Thank you, Ignami. You'll be pleased to hear the boys are feeling a bit better. So I can speak to them now?" "Yes, but do be patient with them. They may still have quite a bit of recovering to do." Okay, I'll be patient. I'm going to talk to Etz. Shah says, "You're the one that saved us. Thank you." "It's not a problem. I'm just glad you're both okay. If it's all right, I wanted to ask you how you ended up in that cave. I'm hoping it might help me track down the others who are missing." "We didn't see any others. It was just us and Antos." "Antos?" "Yes, he makes bows for the guards. We'd see him sometimes when Dad would go with him to the pub, but he wasn't in the pub. He was in the cave." "Where?" "He was deeper inside. Those things, they dragged him away." "This isn't good. I need to get back there. Please, find Antos." Okay. Let's see, can I go back in the cave? Yep, I crawl back inside. Okay, this time, before I do anything, I'm going to try to find the book. I don't see anything. What was this book called again? Supposed to go into a small chamber to the east. So I'm going to go into a small chamber to the east. Hopefully there'll be a book in here. I don't see Antos. There's Antos. Talk to Antos. "Antos, are you okay?" "Behind you." Here we go. I need to protect from melee and defeat these strange creatures. Okay, let's have one of them down. I'll let you know when I'm done with this fight. Okay, that fight wasn't too bad. I didn't take any damage with protect from melee. Now I'm talking to Antos again. Have they gone? For now, but there could be more. We should get out of here. Thank you, Ignami. I thought I could find out where people were going. No one else seemed to care. I managed to track those boys here, but then those things. It's okay, Antos. The boys are safe. That's good, but everyone else, look what they did to them. And there's like 4 corpses around this room. I'm sorry, Antos, we can't help them now, but at least you and the boys are safe. Come on, let's get you home before more of those things arrive. You take Antos back to Auburnvale. Okay, let's talk to... Oh, we're talking to the captain automatically. You found Antos. I never thought we'd see him again. What happened? The cave up in the mountains is full of some strange creatures. They were the ones responsible for the disappearances. I see. Did you find anyone else up there? No, at least no one alive, that is. That's unfortunate. Still, from what you've said, I suppose we should be thankful that you found anyone still breathing. Right, time to get to work, I guess. Now that we know about these creatures and where they're coming from, we can hopefully ensure they don't take anyone else. I suspect it's going to require us to establish a constant watch. Not ideal, not doable, especially with those new bows. They said not ideal, but doable, especially with the bows. Anything I can do to help? Well, if you ever fancy heading up there and killing more of those creatures, you won't find me complaining. Apart from that, though, I think you've done all you can. In that case, good luck with it all. Thank you. All the best, traveler. And that is the end of the quest. Shadows of Custodia done. I'm going to run back to that cave and see if I can find that book now. I get 2 quest points, Stalker Den access, 10,000 Slayer XP. Very nice. I find Slayer very slow to train. 4,000 Hunter XP, 3,000 Fishing XP, and 3,000 Construction XP. Okay, I'll let you know when I'm back in the cave. Okay, I took a southern path into the cave through another entrance in the, through the river, actually. And now I'm going to run to the west, because I think this book is in the other side of the cave. And let's see if we can find it. I'm running down this western pathway in the cave. I'm running into the most western room. And there's a bunch of juvenile Custodia stalkers. They are attacking me. I'm going to run away. Let's see what's to the north. Big bones. Oh, someone's attacking a bunch of them here. I'm going to climb this rope that's hanging off the wall. Run upstairs. Oh, on migration patterns. There's the book. We got it. I'm picking it up now. Okay, I'm going to go back to my house so I don't die here. Alright, it's time to read this lore book on migration patterns. Another season has passed and the numbers seem ever lower. It's difficult to pin down exactly what's been causing this continued drop-off. Every creature coming by seems as fit and healthy as ever. It may be that there is no longer a need to migrate, though I've yet to identify what material changes have occurred to the local environment that would mitigate that need. The increased passage of people up towards northern Varlamore shouldn't have such a dramatic impact by itself. None of the animals show any difficulty when encountering the trappings of man, nor any fear when I get close to inspect them. My reports on the conditions of the animals are regularly flown back to the guild, and no concern returns. So what pressures have changed to manipulate the migration pattern like this? I'd usually expect to see a new predator apply this kind of survival pressure to an area, typically something right at the top of the food chain, but so far I've not seen any clear evidence of this. I may have to explore deeper into the past at the risk of missing something down here and attempt to see if anything new has moved in. I've moved up into Custodia Pass itself. I can't see any clear evidence of an apex predator having moved in. What I have seen is a perhaps unseasonable number of rabbits moving about at dusk. This sounds a lot like the book we found in the Hunters Guild. It's unclear exactly where these rabbits may be coming from, as I've not observed any significant movement from the forests of the valley into the pass itself. I shall lay a trap in order to see if these are indeed from the Auburnvale. It would appear that the rabbits are not part of the Auburnvale population, for they present with what can only be described as fangs. They are clearly not rabbits, as we are familiar with them, but rather some form of mutation. I can further confirm that these creatures appear to live in a significant system of caves, as opposed to the warrens we are used to with rabbits. However, I cannot see from my current location how extensive these caves may be. I will send my latest report to the guild, and then I shall have to delve into them. And that's the end of that book. So that is migration patterns. So, let's see. We looked at Auburnvale ecological reports, which I think was derived from this book we just read on migration patterns. So, let's see, on migration patterns. we have On Migration Patterns, we have Auburnvale Ecological Reports, and we also read the Sacraments of Entfolk. So that was 3 new books explored in this episode of Cozy Old School RuneScape Lore. And I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Maybe next time we'll see if there's any more books to be found in the new Varlamore expansion. But if not, we'll find something else to do that'll also be some cozy lore. But I'm going to say that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who may still be listening, I hope you have such a good evening and that you sleep so well. Good night.